back when I was in school, I really got into horror films, but like the classics, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the classics. I wasn't really big on newer horror films and stuff like that, but classics I really loved. And one of the biggest catalysts for why I got into horror films was the game Mortal Kombat. I think it was Mortal Kombat 9. The one on Xbox 360 I played had Freddy Krueger, and they introduced all these horror elements to that. That was so cool, right? But when we started getting the next generation of consoles, we started getting more characters like Leatherface, Jason, and among that were Predators and Alien, the xenomorphs. Right? That's what started my journey into those franchises particularly. But I'm sure you clicked on this for one reason only, right? You don't want to hear about my lore into horror, right? You want to hear about Alien Romulus. Now, let me tell you, Alien Romulus got me sweating. Oh my gosh, that movie was... I love the Alien franchise. I love... One of the reasons I love, like, especially that and, like, Predator... I love the lore of it. I love that there's like this world that started off and then it took off until like there's just so much mystery of like what are the intentions of these characters? Where do these characters come from? Where does xenomorphs come from? Where do they end up? And I mean, like, it's actually, some people don't really like the prequels, but I do. For the most part, they gave me a little more lore, although it's debate of like, what is lore, what is not lore. Anyways, regardless, let's talk about Romulus. We're not talking about any other Alien movies. We're talking about Romulus in particular. Now, if you are going to go see Alien Romulus, you're going to get a lot of crumbs for the other movies. So if you don't want to be lost, like half the people in the theater I went to, then you could watch them. I mean, they're all on Disney Plus. You can go get Disney Plus and watch them, and then, try to sue them, but you can't because you signed up for Disney Plus. So pirate if you want, I guess. You didn't hear that from me. But so Alien Romulus, I'm going to just say I enjoyed the movie. It was great. It was fun. It was scary. I'm going to say, so I don't know if it's because I've watched a lot of horror movies, but you get desensitized after a while. Personally, for me, out of all the Alien movies I've seen, I don't say it's the scariest one. I want to say there's about 5 jump scares that I really remember. 3 of them I thought were pretty good, and only one of them got me. But the one that got me was because I was letting my guard down as the movie got closer to the end. So, but Alien Romulus, I'm glad I got to go to the theater and enjoy the spirits of it. It was a full theater. IMAX. I even got to see one of the alien statues. There's only 14 in the world. So cool, right? It was a full theater, and one thing I've always said this before, I love the experience of going to the movie. I love getting my drink, my snacks, and I love that this was a full packed theater. You could feel the tension in the room. You can feel people getting scared. There was like one person in front of me. You can tell that like they're like just terrified. There was one part of the movie where it got dead silent, and you just heard someone say "damn," and everyone laughed. It was great. I loved the experience of going to movies. Not to say that I haven't had bad experiences, but I enjoy the experience. Now that I've done this 3-minute intro of me rambling, let's actually talk about Alien Romulus. I've said that like 3 times, but let's get into it really, really, really. So, we open up into this planet that's like a mining planet. There's no sun. It's depressing. You see this woman, she's like breaking her back just to like provide and then get off this planet. There's a whole system where it's like you got to work in the mines, get black lung just so you can get off this planet. And then like, hey, once you work 12,000 hours, you can get off the planet. But then they're like, actually, no, you got to work like 1,500 hours or whatever. Now you can get off the planet. Sorry, come back in like 7 to 8 years. Bye-bye. And so I'm like, dang. And this is the one thing I enjoyed very much so about the movie was in all the Alien movies, I feel it took place in a very like small area. Like the first one, it's just on a ship. Second one, you're just on, I believe, a moon or a planet. Third one, you're in a prison. Fourth one, I believe you're on a ship again. And then, when you get the Prometheus and like Covenant, that's like Covenant gets a little more broader, I guess, but like this one, it is on a ship in your planet, but I'm seeing more of this world. I don't know much about the world of Alien. Humans, they spread out, colonize, but like, what are these people doing? Like in this movie, you're not seeing researchers or whatever going to do stuff or something like that. No, there's just people who like, we're just trying to make a living. We're trying a better life for ourselves. That's all what we want. We're not trying to get in any of the mess, but the evil Wayland company is like, no, you're going to be working here to the day you die. And like, you can't get out. We ain't gonna do anything for that, I mean, like, dang, it was literally like, I can imagine in the next like 100 years, Amazon's got us. We can't leave to Mars for that colony because like, no, you still gotta work here for another like 13,000 years, so it's all for the good of the company. That is the motto. Jeff Bezos is gonna be having us like mining for whatever new material they discover from a meteor landing here. I don't know, but definitely like there were just some elements I'm like, yeah, this kind of hits to real life. People just want a better life. You got these corporations just keeping us down. We can't even like afford your basic necessity. People are dying with black lung. Like, Jesus, like, you know, I don't think Alien was trying to get too political with it, you know, or too like in depth with it, but like, dang, I was like, yep, it's all about, I mean, people can drop dead at Amazon because you don't want to put fans on, but like, you know, it's, anyways, I'm getting too on about that. Yeah, so and that's what made this movie kind of tragic, was like, these people, you know, they hear a ship that's up in space. Yeah, it's got some cryogenics that we can use to like go sleep so we can travel to this next system and like go live on that planet, because we can't travel it in our ship because it takes like 9 years to get there. You know, we got to cryogenically sleep, and we need materials for that. So we're gonna go up in space, find this thing. So this woman, and who I believe in it, her name is Rain. Yep, her name is Rain. She and her trusted AI robot, android driver, Andy. I'm gonna say this now. Andy's my favorite character in this entire movie. And in fact, I want to say majority of the androids, robots, or AI people, artificial intelligence people, they're my favorite in like pretty much all of them. Like Michael Fassbender, I love the Ash, like I just love them. Because they're just there to follow orders, you know. They're like, in a way, it makes them like, for the most part, they end up becoming villains, and it makes them good villains, right? I just love them. I don't know why. It's something about it. Anyways, Rain is taking care of Andy. Andy's kind of like, from what I remember, he's like a broken, like he's like, he was found in the trash and he's not functioning perfectly, like, and she practically has to take care of him, you know. So her like friends or whatever or something like that, they're like, she's trying to get off the planet, but they won't let her because Evil Corp is like, no, you gotta work to the day you die, you know. You're sold your soul to the company store, right? You know, 16 tons, what do you get, you know? So her friend's like, can you help us? Like, we found this ship, it's got cryogenic chamber or whatever, you know, hyperbolic chamber, whatever, but we need your android, your AI to open up the things because we can't do it. And they're like, I don't know. You know, he's like, well, eventually they talk her into doing it. Now, I'm going to say this now. There's a character who was introduced, Bjorg or whatever, you know, the singer, right? Had a British accent. Oh man, I'm gonna say now, I hate this character. I hated him so much. I wanted to punch him so bad. He was so like, just so mean to Andy, all because, you know, singing killed his grandma, an android killed his grandma or whatever, or his mom or whatever. It closed the door while this mine was collapsing or something, and it saved like a dozen people, but like 3 people died. He was so annoying. He was taking out his trauma on this android who, like, you know, doesn't even like know any better, right? So it just triggered me. But we'll talk about him more later. Anyways, they eventually go up, you know, they see the sun because they don't have sun on this planet. It's like storming constantly. So they get on the Romulus, you know. Oh, by the way, the scene opened up, I forgot to mention this. In the beginning, it opens up with like these scientists finding a rock in space, and they open it up and it's like a cocoon where the alien was. I'm assuming it's the alien from the first movie. If I remember correctly, this takes place after the first movie in the direct timeline. You know, I believe they launch it in space, so, or something like that. But they find the alien, and this is the ship, I guess, that they're doing research on. So they get on the ship, and it's like, we're just gonna go do the thing. It seems pretty easy, right? They're right there. Take us 30 minutes to get here. We better hurry up a little bit because this ship will crash into the rings of the planet pretty soon. But they have they got like, I think 36 hours before they do that. It's fine. But they go to the cryogenic chambers, and then there's no fuel in them, or like there's not enough fuel to last 9 years. It's only for 3. So it's like, we got to go elsewhere to find the fuel. So this is where I was kind of like, this is kind of cool, because if I remember correctly, I saw an article where the director was talking about he like was watching or playing Alien Isolation, and that's one of the things he kind of based. He had some inspiration from that when making this, you know. Treat it like a game, right? And within the Alien Isolation game, I played it before, you know, there's tasks you gotta do, you know, Among Us, right? So tasks you gotta do, and doing those tasks, that's when you bump into the aliens, right? Oh, that game is scary. Oh man, I had a hard time playing that game. Oh my gosh. But I love watching people play it though. It's such a great game. You can also get it on the Switch, which is great. But the fact that we're gonna go this thing, but this doesn't work, we have to go do this other thing. It definitely gave me video game vibes, where like, you know, you can't just, you know, the ladder falls from like the roof. Oh, you can't get up here. Go find another way up. It's like, well, can I just go do this? Nope. You gotta do the path that it tells you. So that's what they end up having to do. It was kind of cool. I can kind of see the video game-esque part of it. And as the more I watch movies, the more I start comparing them to like video games or like D&D. Like, oh, this is just a quest. There's a side quest they just have to go do. So they go do that, right? Amongst the room of the cryo chamber, there's a reason there's cryogenics in this room, because it's keeping something cold and frozen. You can probably guess what it's keeping frozen and cold. And when it showed the little buggers in the little incubators, me and my friend both looked at each other and we said, twins. A lot of good quotes when I was watching this movie with my friend. So yeah, that thing is keeping face huggers in there. You learn that there is a android in there, Rook, who is based off the Ash protocol. His CGI was a little weird in the beginning, but I got used to it towards the end. That's neither here nor there. The thing was like basically got melted by a xenomorph because they find a xenomorph just up in the ceiling dead. They ran out of food. Perfect life form ran out of food is what they said basically. So they take one of the little tubes out to get the cryo thing out. That makes everything hot in the room. Starts melting the face huggers in the little tube. So the rest of the crew has got to go get them. That's when we also learn that Dora the Explorer here, apparently she played in Dora. I didn't actually realize that, which is also another crazy movie. Anyways, she's pregnant. You don't ever learn who the father is, from what I'm understanding, but she's pregnant, which I have a comment about that, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, these people have to go in there now to save her. Dora stays behind because she's pregnant, throwing up. She's a little sick in there, she stays behind. They have to go back and save them because the door gets locked when they try to take the thing out. Siren goes off, it's melting. But they decide that they get the chip from the Ash model, and they're going to put it inside Andy. Put in Andy, he reboots, and he becomes smart. And this is so cool because before he's kind of just like fidgeting and he's not always all there. And then boom, he's like, I'm intelligent now. I know exactly what I need to do. And it was like the coolest switch up ever. Andy's my favorite character. He's like, get down, Mr. President. He's like throwing things. He's got the strongest strength ever. It's awesome. Andy's great. He's like speaking articulate. Anyways, but the face huggers are coming out. They start swimming in the water, and then eventually they're attacking people. They're busting through the doors. They eventually get the door open. They get chased by the face huggers, and then some close calls. They get out, but one of them manages to get somebody. Oopsie. At that point, it's just, sucking on her face there. But they boot up the android that looks like Ash, right? Turns out his name was Rook, and it's funny, my friend pointed out that it's cool that his name was Rook because he was helping the queen play chess. He had a bigger plan amongst the group, more than the humans knew of. So, and he starts telling them like, yo, you got to get rid of that thing right now. That lady, she's gone. Or, like that, your friend, gone. Get rid of them. You need to get off this ship, because do you see that thing up there in the ceiling that's dead? Yeah, that thing bleeds acid. You need to get rid of it now. And that's when like he brings Andy closer to him. Hey buddy, humans, they're irrational, they're emotional. You got to do what's best for the company, for Amazon. You got to do what's best for Apple, for Microsoft. You got to do what's best for the company, right? For BlackRock, whatever. Do the best for this company. Okay. I see you, So they try to get the alien off by freezing it, and it works. And then he's like, okay, we gotta get back to the ship. And this is like the coolest thing ever. And he's like, I don't know if I can allow you to do that, And it's like, whoa, wait. I love the switch up. It was like, that's like, like if you let them on the ship, like Rook was like, yeah, you can't have him on there, I'm sorry, bud, but like, no, we're getting on the ship. That's what Oi bruv British guy, Bob's your uncle. He starts like pushing on Andy like, you can't do this, like, I hate you androids. He was prejudiced against androids, you're gonna let me back on that ship. So he basically takes off with the person who has the little hugger in him. I think that Navarro was the character who got the little parasite, little demon in her, takes off, leaves everyone else behind. Like, I don't care about y'all. We're getting back on the ship. Your robot's crazy. And then they just take off. This is when I was like, this man needs to die. He's so annoying. And then you get the scene from, I believe, the trailer where like she busts out the light. You see the X-ray in her chest, and it's like twins, and then pops out the chest. Pregnant lady screams, and then like this thing is like, it's on the ship now. Yeah, it's on the ship now. So cut back to the other place. What do we do now? And he's like, well, we got to get on our ship. We got to find a way to back there because they're all crashing in space now because like, the aliens on board. And then it makes a little sack that looks like, damn, this movie got me acting up though. They got the Xenusi in this movie. Like, I was just like, what is that? Stinky? Oh my gosh. This movie was peak. Anyways, crazy. That's a crazy. So it busts out this thing, and then it's like, and then they try to taser it, and it don't work, You need a powerful vibrator than that. So it doesn't work. It comes out, and it stabs. It finally stabs that guy. It stabs our Bobs and Buckle Hyrule King of the... Yeah, I've hated that guy. Bjorn, I'm so glad he just dies. So glad. He deserved it so much. Hating on my boy Andy just because he's built different, just because his blood is oil or something, Yeah, he dies, and that was very satisfying. I'm glad. Anyways, our pregnant girl, Dora the Explorer, she gets out of there, tries to run away. Anyways, back on the other ship, we got the face huggers. They're all crawling around, and Andy's getting a little more like for the good of the company a little bit. He's kind of betraying people a little bit, but he's just following orders. I respect that about Andy. Anyways, they have things like, well, face huggers, they can track your heat signature. So if you guys will raise the temperature up and then walk through, right? So that's what we're going to do. And it works. They're just kind of crawling around, not really noticing them. And then get a call from the door to the Explorer. And she's like, I'm scared. Bjorn died. What do I do? So she tries to flee, but the xenomorph is there on her tail. Doesn't attack her. But she manages to get away, gets to the door where they're at. And she's banging on the door. But the xenomorph's right there. And they're like, open the door. But Andy's like, I'm not having it. I'm not doing that. We just got through getting chased by facehuggers because, what's his face? They said if you start sweating or getting goosebumps, your temperature's going to raise up or something, and those things are going to chase after you. And they did, and they ran. And yeah, but now they're in there, and he's like, I'm not going to open that door. If you open the door, we're all dead. And they're just yelling at him, open the door. He doesn't. What's her face? She gets caught up by the alien. Which reminds me, one thing I remember in Alien 3, if I believe it was Alien 3, Ripley was pregnant. And if I'm correct, the xenomorph did not attack her because it knew she was pregnant. So this xenomorph technically attacked this woman. Doesn't kill her just yet. We'll get to that. So I'm wondering if do the same rules apply? Or is it different because, if I remember correctly, also, I believe Ripley's baby was it part alien as well? I don't remember, but I just remember that being a thing. Or it could be she fell and hurt herself. I wonder if that mess up pregnancies there. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not trying to overthink it too much. Back to the story of mine. She gets snatched up and they're all like, Andy, how could you do that? And he's like, I'm just trying to keep you all alive. It's also for the good of the company. Remember that, guys, for the good of the company. I'm going to start saying that a lot now. Anytime I'm going to be at work, I'm going to be all like, hey, did you do this? Yeah, no, I didn't do that. Why'd you do that? It wasn't for the good of the company. Yeah, I had to take 3 days off. It was for the good of the company because I would have messed it up. Something like that. Anyways, so at this point, they're like, Andy, you got a new objective apparently for us? And it's like, yep, for the good of the company. So they go down to the lab, and this is where they learned the lore. It's where they drop the crumbs. And I was like, here we go. This is what I want. This is all I came for. The crumbs, We get the crumbs, and Rook is explaining, yeah, we have this black goo. And I'm like, black goo? I know where that comes from, Got this black goo here. And it basically creates, the perfect life form, and we're using it to experiment because humans, they're weak, they're not evolved like us androids, I mean, it's not exactly what he says, but we got to make them, humans weren't meant to travel, colonize the galaxies or whatever. We gotta make humans stronger, more adaptable, more slaves for the company. That's all it's about. It's all it's ever been about is dang slave for the company. What's good for the company? Yeah, that's the premise. And then they inject a rat with it and it comes back to life. It's crazy, So we got to take this stuff back, take it back down to base, and we're going to do more experiments with it for the good of the company, So it's we're going to feed you our Frosted Flakes and our red dye 40, and we're going to make it stronger, That's what we're going to do. So they take the stuff, and then the xenomorph is waiting for them. I was like, I'm right here, buddy. And they're like, take this gun, and we're going to shoot and you can shoot the alien with it. And he's like, hold there. You don't want to shoot it too much, because it's going to bleed acid, and it's going to burn a hole in this ship, and it's gonna cause a vacuum of space. And he's like, well, why'd you give me the gun? Maybe the alien might see it as a threat. Maybe. Anyways, they go down this hole, and it's spooky hole. They go down the hole. They go down. There's maybe we shouldn't go down this hole. It's kind of covered in this alien. It looks like an alien nest. Maybe we shouldn't go down this hole. And I was like, yeah, let's find a different way. And then they hear us screaming. And then the Dora Explorer's brother, Diego or whatever. Technically her cousin. Technically Bjorn was her cousin. It doesn't matter. Anyways, her brother's like, we gotta go save my sister. And that's when she found out she's still alive, So maybe the alien knew she was pregnant. I don't know. But maybe he was like, we're going to use them as bait. They go down there. Of course it wasn't a good idea, right? The aliens come, and then brother dies, obviously. Andy gets knocked out, and I don't know how many times in the movie that he glitched out and they had to fix him. Bro, they did 3-4 times. Come on, man. I thought you were more durable than that, But brother dies, Andy is having a seizure. They go up the elevator, and they're good to go. They're about to get Rain and Dora the Explorer about to get out of there. Although she is bleeding out and she probably is gonna die. They were about to inject her with the alien goo, but they decided not to, which is probably a good idea. There's so many times where I'm like, you know what? If I was in the situation, I would listen to the android and be like, not letting that woman on the board. We're not letting that person on the ship. They have a parasite in them. We're not letting them on the ship. Second time around, I'm not opening the door. There's a xenomorph out there. I'm not doing it. Well, you want to go down that spooky way? I'm sorry. I'm selfish. I'm out. Anyways, I would have stayed my butt back on the ship. In the original ship, no, I stayed my butt back there. And the minute what's his face came on the board, I be like, I don't trust you anyways. So anyways, they go up the ship. Rain is like, you know what? You go without me. take this, go without me, you know. I'm gonna go back down the stairs. I gotta save Andy. He's my boy. I respect that to some degree. Andy, favorite character. She goes up there. Rook is like, put that thing on autopilot so I can get us out of here. We'll get back to that in a minute. She goes down, saves Andy, you know, and then she is kind of caught in a rock and two sets of teeth, but turns on the zero to gravity. She has Andy's normal chick back at him, so he's back to his normal self. Puts the zero gravity on and then starts killing aliens with it. And that was actually kind of cool scene, or like, because you know all the acids like in 0 degree kill some aliens and face huggers. So then they have to travel back through the acid while zero gravity's going or whatever. That was actually pretty dope scene. A little corny, but yeah. Cut to, they're back, they make it, you know, but aliens are still coming. There's still some aliens, and that 0G gets to them, because eventually the ship goes back to normal and she's falling down this hole. Andy's way up there higher, but the elevator comes and like kills most of the xenomorphs coming up. Think you're saved, but there's one xenomorph that survives. But Andy jumps down, grabs the gun, and just goes bop 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 bop, kills the xenomorph. And then he says the corny line. I was like, they do this in every like reboot or whatever, and it's something that when I see, I'm either really just excited about it or I'm really like, that was so lame. But I'm gonna say this, I'm like, they have to do it, you know, they have to do the iconic line, get away from her, you know, like awkwardly just says the B word. I'm like, that's funny. Anyways, everybody laughs in the theater when it happens. They got to do some corny thing like that, you know. You know what would be really funny? Like you see the xenomorph's up in the face and it goes like, you are one ugly mother, and then the xenomorph just the little mouth inside. That would be funny, actually. Not the same franchise, but it would be funny to cross franchise like that. They could do it. I mean, like, they're already talking about doing a Prey alien movie, maybe, perhaps. That'd be pretty cool. I'm down. I mean, the first two Alien vs. Predators are weird, but hey, I like watching giant kaijus fight, so I'll watch aliens fight. This would be great. Anyways, Andy's saved. They go back up. But what's her face? She did inject herself with the goo. Bad idea, but whatever. Yeah, and then we're gonna put him in the cryogenic chamber. And this is the part where I thought the movie's over. You know, Rook is like, put me in autopilot, we'll go back to home base, and then, you know, yeah. And they're like, nope, we're not gonna do that. We're keeping your research. Screw you, buddy. You're gonna get blown up with your ship. That's pretty much what happens. He's like, your protocol has been terminated, you know, and says a pretty iconic line back at him or whatever. It was pretty good, just desserts, right? So yeah, everything's good. It's like putting a homegirl back in the, we'll put her in the cryo. She gonna go take a nap. She's a little e-piece. Andy, we're gonna just have you boot up on the computer. We'll keep you waiting here for a little bit until in another 9 years. I'm gonna go sleep in the cryogenic chamber. I'm gonna give my little PJs. We're gonna go in there. She's about to go in there, and then light comes on. I'm like, yep, this is gonna happen. Because at one point, the rat they shot with the goo, it comes to life, and I'm upset that I didn't see a rat xenomorph. That they could have popped that at an end credit scene. That would have been great. Anyways, actually, I don't know if there was an end credit scene. I didn't stick around, but I looked it up. Apparently, it wasn't. So who cares? Anyways, so yeah, there was no rat xenomorph. I'm sorry, guys. I know how y'all really wanted that. The fans have been asking for years, but no rat xenomorph. Got a dog one before that. Shoot. Anyways, I don't know how many times there's like 5 different billion xenomorphs, and it's all like it's all the same xenomorph, but it's like, okay, this xenomorph comes out of human, but this human goes into a xenomorph. You know. Because that's when we get to our new thing. And this, I'll say this. This is the part where I complete the trifecta of my joke. And I'll get to that. So, this lady's in critical condition. And she starts giving birth. And in my life of seeing aliens, I was like, she gives live birth to an alien. And I was like, this is brutal. And this, so I made the joke, twins. I made the joke. What is that, stinky? And when I saw this woman give birth to a humanoid alien egg sac, I was just like, I think I'm gonna be sick. I was like, well, it's not, because I thought the movie was over. I thought, okay, well, you save the aliens, you know, they're just gonna go out and thing, but like, no, there's a whole other 10 minutes of this happening. She gives birth to an alien baby, and it looks like a human, and I'm like, ugh, that is. Brother, and then Rains like picks it up. I'm gonna go run away and like maybe toss it out the ship, but it's like soaking acid, which I'm like, how did you give birth to that thing? And that thing had acid with it, like Mother Mary and Joseph. My gosh. So Andy's like, what's going on? But Rain's like, we gotta figure this out, because like she was about to take it out, but then it's like, it's got a face. What do I do? And then it falls down in the cargo hold, and you're like, what the heck is going on? So she goes down the cargo hold, and this thing is definitely like stalking her now. Andy's waking up like, what's going on? So Andy goes in there, and it's like, we're gonna go check on homegirl here. Homegirl's like in the corner, like, I don't feel so good, my stomach. She like touches her breast, and like pus is coming out of it, this black goose coming out of it. I'm like, is she like, bro, that's, you know, what's gonna happen? Is this thing? And then I just remember whenever like the any of the aliens like came alive and like, you know, they gave birth, my friend was like, it's their birthday. And it was, because this little baby alien comes out and it's now like a full grown humanoid, and it's definitely giving me the engineer looking vibes, you know. So I guess that's some cutaways. And I'll never forget, after the theater we had I had some nerdy people in front of me talking about the lore of Alien, but I also heard them say that like they had never seen the movies, like all the movies. So like I was like, well, then you don't even know what you're talking about. It was so weird because they stood in a way that it included me in their group, and I didn't even know who these people are. And I was just like holding it all in. Like, you ever like, there's so many times in my life where like people talk about things and I'm like, you don't know this because you didn't watch the movies. But then again, like I'm sure there's a million times on my channel where like I've said something and people are like, you're actually wrong, which actually I've had people comment on some mistakes I've made. So maybe I shouldn't judge, but like I at least will admit when I'm wrong. Anyways, I went on a tangent there. Regardless, the humanoid alien did remind me of the humanoid alien plotline in the Resurrection movie, if I'm correct, which was really weird. Where like, Ripley, you're my mother. And so when this creepy little alien goes up to Dora the Explorer, it's like, mother, I'm thirsty. And I'm like, is this thing about to breastfeed on her? Which I thought what it was about to do, but nah, it's like feeding on her, literally. So Rain comes back and is like, oop, this thing is disgusting. You know, this is a weird, lanky looking alien. That scene took me off guard. It was kind of horrific. But also after a while, it did kind of start looking a little goofy looking. I mean, it takes Andy out. Like, he gone. He's dead at this point. So she has the final battle, you know, and with this thing, and she's trying to like shoot it out of the cargo hold, and like, but it's not working. So it eventually, though, she uses the little sack it came in had some acid in it. She knocks it over, and then it causes a hole in the bottom of the cargo hold. Alien falls through. She falls with it, but she's tied to a cable, so she's fine. So she's about to start climbing back up, but then Alien actually isn't fully vented out. Like, the alien did vent, but it wasn't ejected properly. The imposter is still among us. I repeat, the imposter is sus. Alien is still there. And this is the jump scare that did get me, because I was letting my guard down after a while, because the jump scares weren't really getting me anymore, because I expect it now. So, because, you know, they had some of the fake jump scares where it's just like somebody's hand banging on the glass window, right? But Alien's still there, so she's trying to figure out a way, like, how can I get this out? You know, but she finds a way to like hit the last latch. The cargo goes through, Alien goes with it, and she's dangling in space. And then the alien explodes with the cargo hold, and we're back on the ship, you know. And then she gives us this whole like, I'm the last surviving member of this ship, you know. Alien Ramus and Remus ship blew up. It's gone, you know, whatever. I'm going home, back to the place I once called home. I actually don't know. There's some planet where she's gonna go to. And she's just the last one left. Everyone died, unfortunately. Andy, although she puts him in the cryo, saves his chip, and is like, I'm gonna fix you somehow, buddy. And I hope she does. And that's kind of how it ends. You know, it was, that was the end of it. And yeah, solid film. Didn't hate it. It's the best Alien movie I've seen. You know, maybe a little nostalgic to the older ones, but man, of all of them, man, it's pretty good. I enjoyed myself in the theater, and I think when I go to the movies, what I really enjoy is just going to my friends, just having a good time, getting drinks, getting popcorn. You know, actually didn't get popcorn this time. I got some pizza, but you know, that's just the fun of it. And you're being there in the movie theaters. You had that shared experience. Like I said, when it was a scene whenever the alien falls through the cargo hold and it got real quiet, the guy just yelled, "Damn!" and we all just started laughing. It was funny. Or like in the beginning of the movie where it was like dead silent for like a good minute, nothing but dead silent in like the actual movie, because you know, it reminded me of like In Space No One Can Hear You Scream, right? Like, you could feel the tension in the room, and everyone's like getting uneasy, and we're like, something's gonna pop up. It never does, but it's like the real fear is not the gun, it's the fear of the gun, you know. It's the fear of somebody jumping out from the couch and being like, surprise, right? That's what I really enjoyed about the movie. You know, it was just like, if this was like, let's say Alien franchise didn't exist and someone's like, I'm going to create this franchise called Alien, and this was the first movie, I feel like this was kind of like, in a way, it's kind of a modern reboot, but also like a sequel, you know, right? In a way, it was kind of just telling the first story, but maybe in a new perspective of like, yeah, these people, they just want to get out. They want to just get out of this town, and they have to go do this dangerous thing just to go get out of here, you know? And that's, it's kind of tragic in a sense. Although as time went on, I'm kind of rooting for the aliens, and I'm glad like people were like, man, y'all guys are idiots for doing this, but also they just wanted a better life, you know? But Jeff Bezos was like, nah, we ain't having that. It's for the good of the company. Waylon. Now I'm probably going to spend the rest of the night looking up alien lore videos to refresh my memory, because it's been a while since I really deep dived into alien. I'll probably hyper fixate on xenomorphs for a good minute, you know, watching a couple videos of like, what if a T-Rex, Spinosaurus Gigan from Godzilla became a xenomorph? Ooh, let's find out. You know, I'll be, you know that like that website where you can mash up Pokemon? Is there a website like that, but with like xenomorphs? You know, I want to mash up a xenomorph with, I don't know, Hello Kitty. That'd be pretty sick, right? Anyways, Alien Romulus. You know, I give it 9 Jonesies out of 12 game over mans. You know, that's what I'd give it. So yeah, choose out.